All right, bitches, we're back. I got back case of herpes. What is going on, bitches? Chilling, coming out from the west side, from the east side. We're from every side of the planet. You don't know where we're coming from. We're from both sides of the ocean. This is Triggered, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Eddie Law. That's Ash Lamprey. We're here, ready to kick shit off with This is a podcast. This is just about whatever the fuck we want to talk about. This is our Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Triggered. My friend Ash, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Like, I'm just glad to kind of be done for the day. It's a chilled out one, even though it's like 10 o'clock at night. And I'm just glad that, like, we're getting towards the new year, because then I can actually finally enjoy all of the things that have accumulated over the Christmas day. How was your Christmas, by the way?
Oh, it was chill, dude. I had 3 days of Christmas. Saturday was with the kids. Sunday was with my family. And then Monday was just my lady and our friends. Yeah. So it was like really like chill 3 days. It was really cool, man. How about yours?
I was good. Like, apart from when, like, I did the worst thing you could do when you're at a family gathering and, you know, parents have decided and family members have decided to have 1 or 2 drinks. And you mentioned anything surrounding the word politics.
Oh, that's bad.
I fucked up, man. Because the thing is like, all right. This is what's crazy to me, and I think you'll relate to this highly. Like, my family is working class, like that we're blue blooded. That's just how it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
White collar and all that jazz. And some joke was to do with Donald Trump or something like that. My mom's husband decided to say Jeremy Corbyn isn't right for Labour, which is basically kind of like he's not left wing, but he kind of is, if you know what I mean. He's basically for the people, you know what I mean, for the working man's man. You know, the whole thing is like, you know, why should the rich get richer and the poor get poorer? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, why? And he was like, well, it's not fair to tax people who earn more just for people who don't want to work. And I was like, I'm with you on that. I agree. You know, people who earn a lot of money shouldn't have to pay for people who don't necessarily work. But I was like, but why should bankers get exceptional amounts of bonuses when they put our country into a recession? And why should politicians get paid excessive amounts of money for champagne and food out of our tax money? Like,
right, makes sense.
When we have an NHS that's not getting given money, and we have nurses that are having to use food stamps, like that. And he was like, well, what would you suggest? I was like, well, for sure, we should punish the people who fucked us with the banking.
100%.
Sure, like, we should get, like, stop all their kind of bonuses for what they've done wrong. And sure, we should make it so that, you know, people in politics and people who are, you know, using taxpayer money for the jobs should not be able to use the money that we're providing for them to be watching porn. Like, there was one politician that got busted for using. Let's check this out. In 2017, there is still people who pay for porn. My guy, it's free. Like, you don't need to get a premium. Like, but he did because he's using taxpayers' money, and that's when I have a problem. Like, that's when I have a problem with. And he was like, well, it's the way it's always been. It's never going to change. And you know what? That is the reason why society is in the way that it is, because the older generation believe we can't change anything. Our generation and the future generation are like, this is some bullshit. We need to make change. But old people, when they've had a few drinks, like to either shout and talk over you or repeat the same thing. And all I got was, it's the way it's always been. It's the way it's always been. I'm like, my stop. Like, it doesn't have to be. We can change, brother. We can change the world. So yeah, politics at family gatherings, guys, do not go there.
It's funny because whenever you bring politics in my house, like, we all, most of we all agree, right? And then you know, usually we'll invite like people that aren't part of the family over, just like for dinner or whatever, and that's when like shit gets thrown in to the fucking, you know, to the mix. But usually we're pretty good. So this time around there was no politics drama at all. It was just usual family drama, and that's about it. But Yeah, that's a trip. Yeah, I do. I never bring up politics
It
ever.
was it was like a conversational piece where we weren't really talking, and then like it was like somebody made a joke about Donald Trump, and then it just went from there. And I was like, oh no, like we went down the rabbit hole. Shit, we're in politics, and it's just like I'm just a strong believer in like I know this sounds so corny and stuff like that, but I'm one of those people that believes like people can make change. Like things don't have to be the way they are because that's how they are. We can change anything. There is nothing on God's green earth.
Bruh, remember when, I don't know if you remember because I don't know who was big over there. I know it was big over here. When George Bush wanted to, I think it was George Bush that wanted to go into Syria.
Yeah.
And that started coming out like, oh, we got to start looking at Syria. We got to go to war in Syria. You know what the people did? As a whole, we're like, fuck, no, you're not doing that. And guess what happened? Not a goddamn thing. So goddamn right, you can make a change. You can make things happen. Like, you know, and I always tell people, like, you know, vote with your wallets or stuff like that. There is always a way to do it. It might not be the way you think is going to work. You know what I mean? Change might not come from voting for somebody that goes, I'm here to change things. I'm going to clean up the swamp, because clearly it's not clean, it's dirtier. But I'm here to do this. I'm here to do that. Vote for me. Most of the time, that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Very few times actual change happens with those people. We got to do it ourselves. And now a lot of people are like, oh, that's your, what are you calling for, revolution? I'm like, no, I'm calling for you to get fucking involved, man. Yeah. Get involved in your shit. It's something as little as getting involved in your kid's PTA, the Parent Teacher Association, whatever the fuck they call it. You know what I mean? It would change things in your kid's school. You don't think that getting involved in your city politics or just voting in your state politics or in your, in your country's, elections, that won't matter? When I say vote with your wallets, as far as politics goes, vote with your votes. You know what I mean? Like, if someone's doing something you don't like, don't vote for him. You know what I mean? Now, everyone's going to be like, the game is rigged. It is, like you're saying, it's always been this way. It's never going to change. Goddamn right, with that attitude, it's never going to change. Now, it can change. It just hasn't happened that often.
Well, look at the, like, this is going to be something that we were just talking about off air beforehand, which I wanted to bring up. Like, you look at, and I know you think the film's trash, and I get it. I get it. We were talking about before we went on air the new Will Smith film that's just aired. I think it was like 3 or 4 days ago on Netflix. Bright. Yeah. Now, I don't think it's the greatest film of all time. Don't you know what I mean? It's probably not even in the top 10 Will Smith films of all time. I don't think it's a bad film. What I personally think is it's very far fetched, and if you're not into it, you're not going to be into it. But if you get into it, it's a good film. I think it's a solid film. I'd say it's like a 6 out of 10, maybe a 6.5. It's not the greatest film ever, but I can name you a lot of Will Smith films that are below 6. But that's here nor there. But it's a good film with in my opinion, it's a very important message, because when you watch the entire film and you see it, it has a lot of undertones and deals with a lot of kind of metaphoric racism from like it kind of represents the early 90s from what I've read, watched, and what's the word? Not kind of studied, but like I've kind of like gathered information over the years and stuff like that. And it seems to be a very common denominator of how like Black people were treated in the kind of like early 90s on the west side of the States.
Right.
And, I think it's very important that this story, when you watch it, you kind of take into account that, and it sounds so stupid saying this word out loud, but this orc is a person by definition.
Yeah.
And you've got to take that thing of going, imagine if, and for you, as I don't have this problem per se unless I go to an area of other ethnicities. Like, I don't have that. But when I've been where there's a group of load of Black people, there's been moments where like I've been ostracized and treated differently. It's not nice. And you've had the same thing, and a lot of people have experienced that, but some haven't. When you watch a film like this, I think it's very important to see that these things still happen. Very important to note, these things still happen. And imagine if you was to be treated that same way, or if you treat someone that way and you don't realize that that is what you were actually doing. And that's why I think it's an important film, because you might not look at it in that manner, but that is the point of the story. And if you turn around, if one person sees that film, and I'm talking big here, but if one person sees this film and goes, maybe whatever, fucking Dave, Nigel, whatever the, you know, other ethnicity of the name of the guy. I'm just naming generic names because I don't want to be racist and pick like a fucking generic name for a person of a different ethnicity. But like, if you turn around and you treat that person at your workforce in that way, and you go, whoa, I've done that, that's not cool, then the film's worth watching.
And look, there's been a lot of films like that, though. I mean, maybe I'm pessimist. Maybe I'm pessimist into the fact that people are like, this film's going to change. No, it's not.
No, it's
like,
not.
You ever seen? No. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. It's like the message is there, right? Like I got 5 minutes in and I was so annoyed with how bad the movie, that in my opinion, was. I'll give you this. I will give it a fair chance in the next couple of days here and watch the whole thing. And next time we talk about it again, so I'll have a complete idea of the film. That being said, it's not like I haven't lived with racism, right? Like I know what the fuck is going on. And from what I've understood, because after you sent that on the DM, I did a little bit of research on it too myself, and like like you was like the thing you sent me was Chance the Rapper was like questioning the movie, the film, right? And a lot of people are on there going, why can't it just be a movie? Well, it could be, maybe they're just trying to make a movie. It's like, oh, maybe they weren't. Maybe they were trying to give a message, right? And I think in there it said that Will Smith actually said in an interview with Ellen or whoever it was, that it was about racism. Like in the little cutscenes alone, the first 5 minutes, you see it all over the place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you see it, you just all you gotta do is replace the orcs with black people, and you're like, oh shit, right? So it's really weird. I know you don't. I don't think you play Call of Duty, do you?
No, but I'm fully aware of the very vulgar community that they possess. I know that much.
Oh, forget the community. In the game itself, there's new Call of Duty. There's a part where there's a black soldier, an engineer, right? He comes into the fold into this company, and this one white dude goes, you're gonna kick out of this. He goes, check it out. This is our new corporal. This is Corporal Howard or something like that. And the corporal gets up. It's a black guy. This is World War II, right? And he's just like, oh, hey, everyone gets all testy because the black dude in the room. And the one white dude that introduced him, which is like, can you believe they let him fight? And the black dude goes, man, they even let us die. Like, you know what I mean? It hits that, and you see that, you're just like, woo, right? Now, it's a game, and it's just,
Yeah, for sure. That's a dark line, though, man.
It's dark as fuck, right? So, and at the end of the movie, after they go through hell and back, at the very end, the same guy that was being racist goes up to him and goes, Corporal Howard, I owe you an apology. And he goes, you owe me way more than that. Like, you owe me way more than that. And they shake hands, right? But you have all these, like, forms of entertainment trying to send that same message. And I'm just waiting for that shit to stick. But it's just weird because it's not that there's, like, an active counter message, right? It's just most people are already just almost, like, programmed to be that way. You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. I go to the mall. If I walk by myself, if I walk with my girlfriend, everyone's normal for the most part. If I walk by myself, you look at me, 5'10", big old beard, darker complexion, whatever. And let's say I'm wearing a hoodie. Let's say I'm wearing this, right? Legit, I've seen where people will, like, especially women with their purses, will turn to the other side or they will switch sides. Like, I've seen it happen. And I'm so used to it, I laugh about it. I'm like, this bitch. Yeah, stupid. You're a dumbass. You know what I mean? Like, it happens. It happens so much here, you don't even notice it anymore. Like, it happens a lot. So, as far as the movie goes, like, I'll give it that. I mean, I'm definitely gonna give it a fair shot, a fair chance, and watch the whole thing together and everything. But
I think it's one of those films that, like, it's just an easy watch. Like, there's some. I always talk about, like, throwaway films.
Yeah.
Throwaway film, like, for me, like, I always put certain films in that bracket that I could put it on and I could really watch it, but I'm not watching it. But I know everything that's going on.
Yeah,
it's an easy watch. Like, it's not like Icarus. Like, you can't do that with.
Oh, dude, I was just holy shit.
I was watching it on my laptop, and I was actually playing the PlayStation, and I was like, I had it to the side of me. I was like, I'll just listen to it. Literally, I just stopped playing the video game, and I'm just like, I'm watching this on fucking, like, laptop. I'm not playing around. But like I say, I think that a film can be a film. Yeah, 100% agree with you. My thing is I just think it's so important that anytime that there's an opportunity to kind of take a message from something, you should. Because at the end of the day, what's the point in doing anything if you're not going to either learn from it or gain something from it? If you're doing stuff just for the sake of throwing it away, then you're kind of just wasting your time. Like, if you're playing a video game, you're playing it to get to the end. Like, that's the achievement you're trying to do from A to B. If you're watching a film, you should take something from it, whether it's just enlightening your mood. You've got to take something from something that you do. And I just think it's a good film to kind of just, for some people, I think it'll be very eye-opening, because one of the other things that's really cool about it is, and this sounds so stupid, and you know, it is what it is. It's so funny to see, hear me out, Will Smith, the beloved Will Smith, being a racist. Like, it shows that anybody you can love and anybody you think is a nice guy can be a racist. Like, they can portray that, you know, they can read that from them.
You ever seen the movie Crash? It's older.
I haven't seen that film, but it's on my list of like films that I've never got around to.
Sandra Bullock's in it. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I watched that movie and I was so uncomfortable with how racist everybody was.
Yeah.
Like, I was uncomfortable. I was younger, right? And I was just like, what the fuck? Sandra Bullock's a racist? Shit. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a character. It's a character, obviously, but still. Like, but I got the same feeling from Will Smith. Like, you know, fairy lives don't matter today. I'm like, whoa, bruh. That's so dark undertones right there. Like,
well, the thing is one of my friends pointed this out to me. I don't think this was the case, but hear me out. One of my friends said to me, yo, what if, like, the orcs were Muslims? Like, you know, like, when we talk about, like, generationally, there's always, like, a, you know, like a racial portrayal of certain people that has to be done in a different manner. So you have to take those moments and go, well, if black people, you know, because I'm being very harsh here, but this is just to put into a bigger demographic because we see it a lot of the time. But, like, we've seen in the States, like, where Americans will band together, black, white, Latino, all that kind of jazz, against a Muslim because of what the you know, and obviously you can be white and be a Muslim, you can be black and be whatever. But the point being is, though, is we've seen people band together to go against an enemy, you know, divide and conquer. You can believe what you want with the media. But somebody said to me, yo, imagine if the orcs was just a representation of Muslims and it was just saying, like, you know, imagine what it's like to be a Muslim cop. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, is like, think about it. Every generation has its, like, demonized enemy, if that makes sense. Now, hear me out on that. World War II, World War I, the Jews. World War II, the Jews, right? What happened there? The world stood up and fought back for the Jews. The Jews stood up for themselves and fought back, right? In the, you know, 80s and 90s, it was black people, right? You couldn't put them down because they fucking marched their asses, you know, obviously before the 80s and the 60s, 70s and all that. There was all the marches and everything. They fought back with civil rights, and now, you know, it's not great, but it's better than it was then, right? You're not getting little girls burning churches anymore, at least for the most part. Then you had illegal immigrants, but you know, Mexicans, but you call them illegal immigrants. You know, you demonize them. You made them non-humans, like the orcs, right? Just like the orcs. If you dehumanize a group, the people that feel, you know, like they're being wronged by this dehumanized group, or they're just like, yeah, get them all, fuck them. They're not, you know what I mean? They're scum. Like, I've heard that being said about illegal immigrants, and then now we have Muslims. You know what I mean? Not even Muslims, just anybody that looks like they're from that part of the fucking world or have a turban. That's not even like, you know what I mean? Even Hindus, all these people are getting thrown in that same little pile right there. Now you got Muslims that everyone's like, oh, you know, man, it's a Muslim. You know what they believe, right? Yeah, tell me what you read in the Quran when you opened up your Quran that you got from the bookstore or from the library. Tell me what you read that they do this, this, and this, and this, and this. They can't tell you.
My scary thing with this is if at the end of the day, you know, I believe that the figure that I last saw, there was 1 billion Muslims in the entire world. If they wanted to band together and fuck us all up, it wouldn't take as long as, you know, it's quote unquote taking them. Like, that's one of my things where I'm just like, you know, power in numbers. If there was 1 billion of them, could you imagine if they said, right, we're all flying to, just say London, and just say, like, all of them just flew to England, like as many as the fucking could. You're talking hundreds of thousands.
Take over.
Marched with guns and fucking all that. You look and you go, it'd be game over. Like they would literally sacrifice their lives, tens of thousands of them, just so that like the military would run out of bullets, just so that the extra 20,000 behind them could walk through and then get to whoever they wanted to get. You just like, if they was that extreme, that's what we'd be dealing with. But you know what's the scary thing? We deal with the media, and this, I know this sounds so like far-fetched, but we deal with the media that wants you to believe that the end of the world could be over by giving you half a sentence on a fucking thumbnail, so you'll click on it so they can get click, which equals in fucking 1/10 of a pence. But you just think to yourself, that is the problem.
And the thing is too, like, and I hate that, I'm not getting anyone credit, actually. Fuck that shit. I've known about the news being fake my entire life since I was a little kid. You know what I mean? Like, if you had half a brain, you thought about it for a second, you're like, huh, that sounds like bullshit. And you realize it was bullshit, right? Like I said, I've said it a million times. I have my degree in broadcast journalism. I've been in that shit. I've been in meetings where they're told, all right, what stories you guys got today? And 90% of the stories are negative, and there's one positive one. Guess which one did not get picked? The positive one, right? So at that point, you start going, okay, well, we need to go with this angle here. You don't go get the truth and we'll put that on the air. It's, we need this angle here. It's like the weirdest fucking, a newsroom is the creepiest place I've ever been in. It really is. Okay. And I hate it because I love it. Like, journalism is my first love, and I haven't been able to like practice it because it's just like, I decided to leave that dark ass world because it was dark, right? The fact that money took over journalism is what destroyed it. Money destroys everything, by the way. Okay,
even video games, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, microtransactions. What the fuck? No, but
exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but money destroyed journalism, and politics is politics was destroyed by politics was always dirty, but money just made it worse. You know what I mean? But it's just a dark world. And when they came up with that video where they caught that CNN producer basically making shit up. You know what I mean? Or that interview on CNN where they were interviewing a cameraman, trying to pass him off as as an eyewitness or something. That shit, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that happened!" And I was like, "Oh, really? Again? Like
again?"
I was like, "Really? Again? Oh, okay. Well, they didn't catch you the first time. They got you this time." You know what I mean? And the funny thing is, people think it's one network does it. No, it's all of them, motherfuckers. They're all owned by 6 corporations. Keyword, corporations, meaning lots of money. Like, let's stop bullshit. Here's the problem, is that now our most quote trusted sources of news are all bullshit, right? And just like you said, they all giving us just the minimum amount of information so they can get clicks. How many times have you clicked on the thumbnail you actually saw? I have. I rarely do.
Right? See, now I try to, like, the thing is like, now I try to go to multiple sources rather than I have to do it that way now.
Yeah, that's what I do. I go multiple sources, and even then, I'm like, I wonder if that's the truth. Like, you never know. You really never know. It's coming to that point where you can't trust any news source. Almost.
I think the problem is now you have to go with the common denominator, and you have to kind of like read multiple sources to kind of gauge whether one thing's true or one thing isn't. Because if you don't, you're never going to really find the roundabout thing to kind of gauge what is going on. With that same thing said, though, like, it's weird because I was talking to one of my friends about Tupac Shakur, and we were talking about like one of the stories that was told by him on a video clip was him talking about his mum used to get him to read the New York Times every morning or whenever it came out. I don't know how weekly or how many other days it comes out, the New York Times, but every time it came out, she'd give him it in the morning after she'd read it in the morning, and she'd make him study it during the day. And then in the evening, she would ask him any random question about anything that could be in there, and she would punish him if he didn't get the question right. But she was educating him, and she was asking how he felt after he'd answered about the certain things he'd read, just to kind of broaden his mind rather than just seeing what was going on in the streets in front of him, the 4 walls that were around him, And I just think it's an incredible thing that like they've tainted information in a way. There's a premise of like knowledge is power, but what is the power you are gaining if the knowledge is tainted?
Right, keep it going. Give me 1 second. That work is calling me for some reason. Give me 1 second, all right?
No worries. But again, like I say, guys, the thing is for me is I look at when we see all these guys, and you know, there's this stigma of like fake news and stuff like that, and there is good news sources just in general. Do you know what I mean? But the problem is we're looking at a point now where how true and how valid is it, and how actual is it? And it's a shame because, you know, we should be able to turn on our TVs and actually see something that's not trying to inspire panic, but we're actually trying to watch something where we're actually trying to find out what the hell's going on, you know, 1,000 miles away, 2,000 miles away, a week away. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I hope that this whole kind of fake news, clickbait kind of stuff disappears, because we're seeing too much of it, man. We're seeing way too much of it. And I don't know, it scares me a little bit, because I think we're going to get to that point where like everything has to collapse before it comes back. But it is what it is. I don't know. I just wonder where the moment was where like somebody clicked and realized that like we could just make money and we can kind of change the way we look at things and ostracize things and aggravate people to expand it further forward than actually give information to the people. Like, I wonder when the moment was. Like, money's always been around, but when was the moment where people just went, fuck them. If they believe this, then they'll believe anything. So fuck them. We're gonna feed them this bullshit, and we're just gonna make money off of them.
We used to have respected, like, it was mostly men, right? But respected journalists. Yeah. Like respected, revered people that were, you know, especially, you know, guys that were, and some women, but mostly guys, honestly, that were, you know, like Tom Brokaw, you know, it's these guys that you look to give the news, right, or to get the news from. And Walter Cronkite was a huge name in journalism. I mean, I don't know if you guys know it over there, but he's got schools named after him over here. The school, my first university I went to was Arizona State University, and I went there and I got into the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, which is like one of the top journalism schools in the country, before I transferred out of there because I realized they were full of shit too. But it was it's like Walter Cronkite is a huge name in journalism, and he was just the guy you trusted for your news, just like, you know, Howard Cosell in sports. I mean, who else could interview Muhammad Ali like Howard Cosell could? Nobody. Yeah. So whenever you heard Howard Cosell's on the air, oh shit, you can trust this guy. Tom Brokaw, you know, all those guys. And so we've lost that. We've lost that respect for journalism, because we're basically told it's bullshit. Even if it's true, it's bullshit.
Do you think that now the only way to have like news given is to have it either video, kind of like we're doing something right now, and it's like I can turn around and say, Eddie said this, here's the video. Like, do you think that now we're kind of revolting back to kind of like having to do interviews with one-on-one with people, like the Armstrong Joe Rogan podcast? So right. That was from the horse's mouth. It wasn't anybody else saying that he said this, or this test result said it wasn't any journalist saying this could have, like, because let's be honest, there's a lot of journalists. Like, one thing that, you know, we do an MMA podcast, guys, for the people that don't know, called the Heel Hook Show. But the thing is, though, is we know, and you know them, I know them, I know a few people that do it. They throw what is pretty much 99% kind of guaranteed to kind of be the next fight for certain people, and they go, rumored, breaking, sources claim that is going to fight, and it's like, nah, that's just the obvious fight, an obvious timeline, because of certain things that add up to make that fight plausible. It doesn't mean that you have sources. You've made that up. If you throw shit against the wall so many times, sooner or later something's going to stick.
Yeah, we know all these guys that are in, you know, like on social media that call themselves insiders that do the exact shit, right? And you know, a lot of the time they're just like, right, why? Because it's common fucking sense. Like, you know, it was obvious. Like, I could say right now, you know, fucking, I don't know, McGregor and Ferguson rumored to be fighting within the next 2 years. It'll probably happen.
Yeah,
right.
I'm with you.
It's a massive rumor, bro. I mean, and when it comes out, the was like, "See, I told you. I have insider info. Shut the fuck up." But
exactly.
It's yeah, dude, I don't know. It's, and I hate to get deep into it, because then at some point you hit the conspiracy wall, don't you?
Yeah, I just think so that I was kind of just more like kind of working in the context of like I think personally I think that the only way we're going to get information is to kind of go like backwards. Like we have to go back to, like one-on-one interviews where that person's saying this, that, and the other, and there's nothing else about it. Or you have to go to like where you do like video footage of seeing people in certain areas, and you know this is happening because we have too much technology now. Like in a way, it's going to get to the point where you can't lie because you can't say, oh, you know, there's loads of people in, you know, I'm saying this and I get a lot of flack for this, but we have like things over here like children in need and all that kind of stuff where, you know, they help with kids in Africa and stuff like that. And I go, great, let's help them. But then I think to myself, yo, how are we sending like 20, 30, 40 million, you know, over them every year for the past 25 years and yet nothing's changed? Like nothing. Like
exactly.
How are we at that point? Do you know what I mean? Like there becomes a point where you go, come on, guys, like we need to kind of see what's going on there. And when you show us it, then I go, well, where's the 20 mil? Like where we just raised you 20 million, and like a year later, nothing's changed.
Yeah, when it comes to that, that's a little different because of stuff like that. But I get what you're saying. Like, we need someone to go and make sure that shit's getting done right.
We know that it's not good there. I'm not saying it's not good there. What I'm saying is, if you keep on pumping 20 million into literally recreating towns and cities, sooner or later they have to visibly at least look better. If not, just the medical care to try and aid and assist people. But we're not seeing any change. And I'm like, either these charities are swallowing the money, highly plausible, by the way, just saying.
Likely.
I used to work for a company that used to do door-to-door charities. I was the guy in the suit knocking at your door saying, I'm not selling you electric or gas. I'm just here to talk about, and then it'd be whatever charity. Now, the thing is, though, is this is the kicker. I'm going to pull a little bit of the wool out of people's over their eyes for a second. But what they used to do is they used to every time you made a sale and you got somebody to sign up, you'd get I think it was £14 or £15, and then £10 would go into a bond if these people hadn't cancelled the monthly subscription, which was £6 a month. If they bear in mind that these numbers are really important, so bear in mind I'd get £15 outright per sale. For £6 a month, somebody would be paying to the charity. So it would take them at least 3 months to earn back that. If they stayed over 3 months, they would give me another £10 on top of that sale, which again, you know, we're talking just over. Then we're talking over what 4 months. So just technically it'd be 5 months. So for 5 months, that charity has not seen 1 penny of the money I've earned them.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
That's insanity to think that charities have guys going from door to door doing that. And then I quit because I was just like, I can't do this. This is some bullshit.
Yeah, once you realize it's a scheme, some like dark scheme to like just get money from people, it's like what the fuck. So yeah, I mean, look
from there. But on a bright note, we'll go to a lighter one. How awesome is it? Did you see the thing that I sent to you about PSV, the football team, using the Football Manager 2018 edition to reveal on their game that they'd made a new signing? I thought that was fucking cool.
It's pretty cool. I like how they do that kind of thing, right? Like it'd be cool. It'd be cool if they did something like that over here with like something. I don't know, but
I just like the guerrilla marketing of it, of like turning around and going, "We're going to do something where it's completely different to anything you've ever seen before."
Yeah, no, I was like, it's pretty cool. I saw the video of it. It's pretty legit.
Well, it's like, can you remember?
I didn't know. Real quick, I didn't know Football Manager was a game.
That's
not over here.
That's
No, 100%. That's 100% why.
Yeah. I was just saying. It's just one of those things that, but like, it's like a big franchise and stuff like that. But as far as like PC gaming and stuff like that, it's not something like I'd ever play because I'm more like a console. I got to play the players and I've got to move the sticks, and I can't just watch on a screen like simulation of like people with dots looking like Sabutio and shit like that. So.
Yeah.
But I like stuff like that though with the marketing stuff though, because you know when we saw it come out and there was all those things in Australia for the first release and there was all the balloons and shit over the place, I was like, oh, like that little thing, and it makes a viral story, and I just think it's a cool like. I'm one of those big people that thinks that marketing is simple if you do it right.
If you do it right, it's easy.
When you see like fucking films like Avengers and whatever, like spending hundreds of million, and I'm like. All I saw was your advert a few times.
Look, for stuff like that, like Star Wars, Avengers, shit like that, you just got to put a trailer out on YouTube. How free is that? That's free. That's all literally you need to do. People will come flocking to your movie.
And you'd literally make millions off of the monetization as well.
Yeah, dude. It's like the people aren't thinking. You know what's funny is that now in this age of like social media, we're gonna have a different kind of marketing. Like, you know how we've seen everything evolve. Everyone's like grassroots marketing, yeah, you know, word of mouth marketing, yeah, it's awesome. Well, now we have easy shit like Twitter and like Facebook and YouTube and like just shit like that, dude. It's really simple. It's so simple. I'm waiting for the next evolution of marketing. You know what I mean? Like something that's, I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be something simple.
I don't know. I just think that it's cool that like we're in a day and age where everything's quick. Everything's simple. You know
well, that's that. Honestly, we think of taking back a little bit to the news subject. That 24-hour cycle destroyed the news because it's like you need the information now. You need it first, which means no one's checking their facts, no one's checking their sources, and you get some bullshit.
True. With that same thing said, though, we can also expose them quicker. So it's like it's a double-edged sword. It's like you can turn around and give us some bullshit, but do you really want to risk it without any confirmation? Because you will get exposed real quick now. Like that's just how it's going to work.
Yeah. Do we need to do like an episode on conspiracy theories, like the newer ones, like the Vegas shooter one? I read some shit. Look, I am a habitual like rabbit hole diver. Like I will get a subject and I will just Google it real quick, and 4 hours later, I know way too much and I wanted to know about some shit. So I looked up on Reddit. There's this thing about the Vegas shooter, and it got dark and deep, and I was like, "Whoa, no, dude!" It fucked me up a little bit because there was some video they added to like security video from certain like. Okay, so it's a real quick short premise because I don't want to get too much into it. All right, it's gonna get crazy. Just look into it. I'm just saying, look into it. No, but basically the premise is that the whole Vegas shooter thing was an assassination attempt on some kind of Saudi prince who happened to be in Vegas that night. Okay. Yeah. So I saw that and I was like, get the fuck out of here. Then I dove into it real deep, and they had like security footage of said prince getting like fucking escorted out of an armed escort out of this like casino, and it all went wrong, and there was guns everywhere, so they had to make it look like some crazy shit happened, so they shot down at the crowd. Like that wasn't part of the plan. Like, and I read it, and I was seriously, there's so many details in this. You're just like, what?
Right. What we'll do is I'll make a promise. Next week, when we do the first one of the year, we'll do the first trigger of the year next week.
Yeah.
We will do purely. I'll let Eddie do the research and literally debilitate his brain and just fucking ruin himself. But he can come through with his top 5 of like modern conspiracies, and we'll delve into it and see what we think, and we'll talk shit about it on the next episode. We'll make it a little special that we'll do for the beginning of the year. So, but yo, I'm with you though. There's certain conspiracies and stuff like that, and you look at them. I do it with a lot of things though, like anything that I daren't go on YouTube for the most part, because I know that if I just turn around and I'm like, I'll start with like a sports game or like a video game, and I'll just start there. And then by the end of it, I'm watching like the top 10 like cartwheels that a rabbit can do if you pump it full of LSD. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on my screen right now? But nonetheless, it's one of those things where you kind of look nowadays and you kind of go, what the fuck is going on? One thing that I do find funny, considering that we were talking, I was just mentioning about animals and shit. Did you hear that Disneyland had a massive power outage and some of the fucking rides just like shut down?
Say what? When did that happen?
I think it was like in the last hour or so.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen it yet. Are people still stuck right now? Because that's hilarious.
It was 36 minutes ago when it came out. Fox Los Angeles, a power outage has reported at Disneyland. Some rides will be shut down as a result. Busy holiday season day. So, yeah.
Hey, you guys, I get it. I got an idea. Let's pay these over fucking price tickets you know, to go to fucking Disneyland. We'll take the kids and everything. They're out of school, right? All right, cool. Yeah, we're on the ride. Chunk. Oh shit.
Yo, I'm not even gonna laugh about stuff like that because there's a theme park over here, like the big one over here. It's called Alton Towers. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but basically, a girl lost a leg in an accident in a roller coaster over here.
Yeah.
She lost a leg, bro. She lost a leg. Don't breeze over. She lost a leg, my guy.
On what ride?
It was like just like a roller coaster, and it clipped off, and like she lost a leg, bro.
Dude, no, you remember when that one kid on the train ride in Disneyland like stood up because his hat fell off and it fucking took his head off?
Is that real? Because I always thought that was a lie. I always thought that was one of those fake bullshit things.
Shit was real, fool. Shit. Fucking no dumbass motherfucker got up. My head's gone. Boom. Totally worth it, bro.
Oh,
real quick. Sorry, I just saw this on Twitter. You know Olu Wally Bangboss?
Yeah.
This is his tweet. 2 tweets. I'm gonna read them for you. First one, 38 minutes ago. Olu Wally Bangboss. What's his Twitter handle? It's at Holy War Angel MMA.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the tweet. So it's official. I'm no longer part of the UFC organization. Not gonna lie, I felt out of love for it for obvious reasons. One, being a target of unfair treatment multiple times, and second, the organization not taking care of its fighters financially. At Dana White, fuck you. Hashtag MMA comeback. Then the next tweet, 24 minutes ago, so about 13, 14 minutes after that one. For you fans who have something negative to say, who wouldn't last a second in my shoes? Shut the fuck up. My block game's strong, and your opinion doesn't matter to me because you can't judge a life you never lived. I'd rather hear it from my colleagues than you scumbag low-life idiots. Fuck the UFC. Homeboy pissed.
Yo, if you think that's bad, I'm gonna re-bring up this fucking Alton Towers thing because I haven't actually researched how much money. Bear in mind, this girl was 17 years old when she lost her leg. Do you know how much money she got?
Millions.
The estimated payout was because it was undisclosed. Estimated payout was between 84.7 grand and 111 grand.
That's it?
The final settlement of the park, if she takes it to a tribunal, could end up being as high as 2 million, though. But it's still going at it.
Yeah, but you still ain't got no fucking leg, dude.
That's what I'm saying. You can't even get a decent prosthetic for 110 grand, bro.
No, dude. Yeah, those are the decent ones are like fucking shitload. You know, it'd be great though if you could do that, and then let's say you got like an $80 million or whatever like settlement. Take my leg. I don't give a fuck. I will walk around hobble with a fucking fake leg. If they said, "Hey, we'll take your leg and give you 80 million," I'm like, "Where do I sign up? You want to do it now? We can do it right now."
Legend law,
bruh. I would start rolling with one leg. All right, go ahead. Yeah, I only got one leg to protect from your heel hooks and shit, motherfucker. Fuck you. Yeah, I got one leg to protect.
Who had one leg who was rolling?
There's a bad motherfucker out there. I forgot his name, but I was like fucking mesmerized watching this dude.
A guy that had one leg and he was rolling because I saw it on white belts, and this guy was fucking going crazy and shit, spinning around. I was like, okay.
Yeah. No, it's fucking ridiculous. What the fuck?
What?
Sorry, I saw Vice News on Twitter. It's a it's a picture of a truck blocking, basically trying to block people from seeing Donald Trump golfing.
Hey, I'm just saying, I don't know how I feel about Vice City after hearing about their sex scandal, my guy.
Huh?
You haven't heard?
No.
Oh.
Dude, let me just tell you right now. I got in a little bit of shit over my social media addiction with my girlfriend, so I kind of put it away. No, it's kidding. I did eat last night. I got yelled at, but it's all good. We worked it out. No, but I've been trying to like put my phone away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so what I do is I'll like, you know, I put like, I don't know, whatever. It depends on what time it is that I'll look at my phone and shit. But I've like avoided like news and shit for the last few days. Why? What happened?
This was in the New York Times as well. This is I'm just gonna kind of quote the actual main thing of the article here. As Vice built itself a fringe magazine into a nearly $6 billion global media company, its workplace was degrading and uncomfortable for women, current and former employees say. Basically, they were basically like forcing themselves on chicks in a very old school manner, groping, unwanted kissing, propositions for sex. This is the key thing. Hard partying, boundary pushing culture created a degrading workplace for women.
Okay, I want to know some details on this shit.
Right, hold on. Let me send you the original link, and then I can.
But it doesn't name anybody like Shane Smith by like name, right?
No. I've only read bits of it beforehand. I've not fully gone into it. But
that would sort of bum me out.
Yo, I like Vice, but then when I hear that, I'm like, it's a dark one, man. It just shows you, like, you never know what's good. You know what I mean? You never know who's the good guys, the bad guys, and everything like that. Like, there can be bad guys in good places, though. That's the problem.
No, okay, I see it. So here's what I want to know, though, was what definitions are they putting to this? Like, unwanted sexual advances. Is it, hey, you want to go out tonight? Maybe have some fun, get them drunk?
The ones that...
Oh, they said?
It says in that article at some point, because it's one of the clip notes that they put on it, one of the quotables. So,
she was riding a Ferris wheel at Coney Island after a company event when a coworker suddenly took her hand and put it on his crotch.
I'm just saying, he was like grabbing by the dick. He was doing some reverse psychology Donald Trump shit. I'm just saying, look into it, bro.
What the fuck were they doing? In addition, more than 24 other women, mostly in the 20s and early 30s, said they would experience or witness sexual misconduct at the company, unwanted kisses, groping, lewd remarks, or proposition for sex. The settlements and the many episodes of harassment the women described depict a top-down ethos of male entitlement at Vice, where women said they felt like just another party favor at an organization where partying often was an extension of the job. I'm confused. I feel like I need like more detail than just that.
Well,
for real.
Did you hear about that Olympian, the girl who allegedly got offered?
Yo, she took some. No, she took money, didn't she?
No, she got offered $6 million to put it under the fucking thing, but because she contacted the lawyer, but the lawyer never talked about the money to her, she was allowed to speak out about it because she hadn't what's the word? She hadn't accept anything. She hadn't said that she would not mention it, so she could tell the world these motherfuckers tried to pay me off.
It's that Michaela girl, right?
Yeah, that Olympian. I think she's a gymnast, is it?
Yeah, gymnast, but she does that one. She has that one face, that meme picture.
I don't know about no meme. All I know is they were sexually assaulting my guy, and they offered her $6 million to just shoot them. And come on.
What's her name? Oh, fuck. Sorry, I'm still on this Vice shit. Like, God
that's really
damn it!
Because you like Vice, isn't it?
I like Vice, motherfucker.
I'm ruining Eddie's fucking New Year.
No, it's just, what the fuck? Why would you guys do this shit?
You know what's the worst thing though, right? And this sounds really stupid, but I kind of look at it in the same way that I look at, like, you know, when that rumor that was going around about Aubrey Marcus.
He was like, the jiu-jitsu one.
The one where he was talking about, like, he was trying to get him into weird the allegedly a jiu-jitsu competitor was saying that Aubrey was trying to get him to do like weird crazy things and sex cults and all this kind of stuff. I just look at that and I look at this modern contemporary open hipster hippie kind of vibe that people put out, and the free spiritedness and, you know, monogamy is dead, should I say. Monogamy is dead. And it's that thing of, like, I look and I go, some people still believe in that, my guy. So you can't turn around.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to change how you feel and make you do it because this is how we like to do it in this, you know, open culture that we're all a part of. And I look at that Vice story and I'm like, imagine if these guys are all like, yeah, we're all free spirited. I'm gonna get you to grab me by the dick. No, like, no, you can't do that, dude.
No, dude. What the fuck? Oh man, this is fucked up. Like, that buns me out. Like, if it was like, you know, for example, GOP has like weird sex parties and shit like that, whatever. You know, Wall Street, and I guarantee this, I'm 90% sure this fucking happens. You know, Wall Street fucking billionaires, you know, like fuck each other in the ass and then, you know, do whatever the fuck. Whatever, don't care. But Vice, you assholes! Like, what's fucking next, man? What's next? UFC headquarters. Dana White's fucking everybody. Like, what the hell is next?
Skip and Shannon have been banging the middle chick. I always forget the name of the chick who was in.
Oh, she's so fine.
She's a smoke show. But in fairness, you know what? I really don't. I might be just being a little bit thingy here. But have you noticed they've got 3 ethnicities when they're all sat at the table? I'm just like,
Hey, First Take, same thing.
I don't watch First Take that often because obviously I have to find clips because obviously.
Oh, dude,
I have to wait like 24 hours.
The chick, bruh, the chick they got on that show, Molly. Whew, she's so mean. She's thick. She's fucking perfect. Like, goddamn, Molly, marry me. Molly,
I just look for chicks, man. Like, you're such a hoe. You're such a hoe.
I will hoe around with her Molly anytime she wants. I don't give a fuck. I'm all about that. That being said, that's probably some kind of sexual harassment right there.
Yeah, just throwing it out there. I'm just saying this though. Those guys weird me out though. Those Skip and Shannon's thing. Like, I only watch it just to kind of hear how stupid one or the other's going to be. I watch them more comedic.
Yeah. And it's not that they're stupid; it's that they say stupid shit.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like, they're smart guys. They go, okay, what's gonna get people fired up and to watch your stupid shit? I'm gonna say stupid shit like LeBron's not the best player on the planet. What? Or say stupid shit like, what is that? No, you wouldn't know this one because it's American football. Skip is an idiot. He just says whatever is gonna light people up.
One to do with the when they was talking about the foul from Kevin Durant on LeBron James in the Christmas Day game.
He raped him on the way to the fucking basket.
No, but did you hear what Skip said though?
What did he say?
Not Skip. What Skip said to Shannon.
What did he say?
He turned around and said the reason why it was okay for Kevin Durant to foul LeBron James was because LeBron James has a reputation. He's a big guy. He's a powerhouse. He's a freight train. And he should be able to deal with, like, skinny, smaller, like, Kevin Durant. As soon as I heard that, I was like, right, I'm going to get the most muscliest guy I know in the entire world. I'm going to get him to jump in the air and hold the ball. And I'm going to just fucking Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi, karate chop him straight down the arm. He's going to have like 5 stone on me, like, you know, like 60 pounds on me. I'm just going to go, on his arm. He ain't going to keep his arm still. His arm's going to move and the ball's going to fumble. Like, that's just what's going to happen. I was like, you can't say it's okay because he has a reputation of being a big dude. That's so stupid. I got really
exactly. No, but that's what they want from you. That's what they want from everybody. It's that they want to get. They are trigger specialists. That's what Skip Bayless is. He is a trigger specialist. All right, that's all he does is piss people off, and that's his game. And I'll tell you right now, if everybody recognized that, his career would be over. Like, if everyone would recognize that he's just playing this bullshit character, his career would be over. I'll give you one example. You know, Piers Morgan.
Oh.
I know y'all hate him. We hate him too. We were trying. We dude. There was a petition in the States that said send Piers Morgan back, right? And I'm not 100% sure on this, but I was told that you guys started one that says no, keep him.
We were trying to send. I think we were trying to send him to like Asia or something like that. We didn't want him either.
Yeah. So nobody wants this motherfucker, dude. Come on. If you watch and hear anything he says or watch any of his shows, you know he doesn't believe 99% of shit he says. There's no way.
I don't know.
There's no way that guy believes any of that shit.
I don't know. He's a bit of a fucktard. There's a part
yeah. Just like Alex Jones. Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
Pizza place raping kids, eating hot dogs guy.
Look, here's the thing. They had I mean, he's divorced, right? And I don't want to throw the guy's business out there, but everyone probably knows at this point. Or at least it's like widely known. He's divorced. And him and his wife were fighting over custody. And one of his defenses that his attorney brought up was he's playing a character. He doesn't really believe the shit he says. It's just a character he plays for entertainment. And I heard it. I read that and I was like, what? Who didn't know this? Like, who doesn't know this, right? Joe Rogan makes it painfully obvious whenever he has Alex Jones on. Like, Rogan goes, he's a really nice guy. You know, he doesn't really believe what he says. You know, like, and it's just like, who doesn't know this shit? So that comes out, and I'm surprised that nobody, like, that he still has fans. Like, he should not have any more viewers. But people are stupid. Yeah,
because they go under the conspiracy of, he was just saying that to get his kid back, bro. Like, fucking wouldn't you do the same?
No, you tell the truth, motherfucker.
If you could get your kid back by lying, you'd lie.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, though, like, go on, like,
look into it, bro. Look into it. Hey, 6 moon landings. They fake 6 moon landings, bro. Just look into it. I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is this: when that Joe Rogan podcast with fucking Alex Jones, and it's like 4 hours deep into the 6 hour long podcast, and he's just blazed out of his face. He's drunk off a whiskey and he's slurring, talking about hot dogs. I'm like, oh my god,
they're in our brain. They're in our brain right now, Joe Rogan. They're in our brain. Like they're reading our thoughts. What? What? No.
A part of me thinks that my phone's bugged. I'm just saying.
It might be. You never fucking know. Shit.
Well, the fact is, have you ever done this? I did this as a test, and it did work on one of my older phones. I don't know about this thing, and this is legit. And I'm not even being a fucking conspiracy. You can fucking Google this, and it was like
all right.
Did it a couple of iPhones ago, and this was on Androids as well. So I'm not just throwing like Apple under the bus here. If you left, there was a certain setting. If you left your mic on, if you was talking about something, you allowed access to like certain apps, what it'd do is it would, and I know this is, I understand this with the cookies when you're doing it online. I'm cool with that because I accept the cookies. You can do your thing and tell me, this is cheap somewhere else. Cool. Mm-hmm. But when I'm talking to my friend, golf clubs. I'd rate like some golf clubs. Would you like to go and play golf? Yeah, it's right nice. It's golf. I'd like some golf clubs. Wouldn't it be awesome if we could get some golf clubs and then just mention different kind of golf clubs? And then like a minute later, you'd go online, you'd just go into sponsored post, promoted golf clubs.
Yeah, I remember that.
Fuck! I was like, yo, I'm looking at my motherfucking phone after having a conversation with them, and I'm like, there's fucking golf clubs.
Bro, you want? Let me get you with this one. All right, let me get this one. My iPhone now, I have the iPhone 7 Plus. Okay.
Yeah.
I have it. I have a location on because I use navigation every once in a while, whatever. And I have a Bluetooth, so I Bluetooth it to my car, right? And I get phone calls and shit. My text messages, all that shit. Play music from it. So every time, this still freaks me out. I still haven't figured out how to turn it off other than turn off location, which I do most of the time. Okay. I get in the car and I have this little holder thing for my phone. I put it on there. I plug in the charger and the Bluetooth connects and Maps pops up. Tell me where I'm about to go. It knows where I'm going to go. Like it records your habits of where you're going to go. So literally after this show, I'm going to jump in my car. I'm going to put that on. It's going to be like, oh, you're going to the gym. Yeah, it's 5 minutes away. Like, bitch, how do you know? Okay. In the morning, dude, I get up in the morning. I get in my car, turn it on. He goes, yeah, 25 minutes to work. Heavy traffic at this spot. And I go, what the fuck?
Don't you think like sometimes you want to fuck with it and just go, nah, I ain't going there, bro.
Funny you mentioned that. Because one time we're leaving the gym. Me and my girlfriend are leaving the gym. We're in my car. And we're driving back to our house, right? And or we're about to drive. We're in the parking lot. I turn on the car. The fucking phone connects, and it's like 8 minutes back to back home. It said home. I never programmed that. It said home. It timed how long I was at a location and assumed that's where I live. I'm like, motherfucker. Okay. So I get in, and it's like 8 minutes to home, and I go, bitch. And I look at my girlfriend. I'm like, what the? This fucking Siri is a crazy bitch. What are we gonna do? And she's like, well, it says it knows where we're going. And I'm like hell it does. Went right to Waffle House and got ourselves some fucking dinner. I don't give a shit. I'm like, fuck you, phone. You can't tell me what to do. And we went right to Waffle House, got ourselves some waffle.
iRobot with Eddie Law.
Dude, I hate this shit. Like I'm gonna be the guy from iRobot. I'm Will Smith from iRobot. All right, everyone else is driving their fucking self-driven cars. I'm gonna have like the 76 Camaro. With like a huge engine.
I would think that was slightly racist on your part there. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, what, the 76 Camaro?
Yeah, that's like the stereotypical kind of American car.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my days, guys! Like that's the weird thing about anything. Like I always think it's so stupid when like people get so offended by like a certain kind of like thing that's affiliated with them, and then it's like, yeah, but it's true. Like there's one of my friends was like, he was saying like, where do you want to go eat? And I was like, oh, like I want to go to KFC, and he was like, is that because I'm black? I'm like, no, because I like chicken. Like it doesn't have anything to do with you. And I was like, don't you want KFC? He was like, yeah, of course I like chicken. I'm black. I'm like, fuck you, man. What the fuck are you doing to me? But it's like you guys, like I've seen you, and I can't remember who was the other person when you were on about like putting mayonnaise on fucking food, and I was yeah. I don't like mayonnaise at all. Oh, and I was like, you were like, yeah, it's such a white person thing to do. Like, you're like putting mayo and shit. I'm like, no, don't. Like, that's not a thing. Like, I don't like mayonnaise at all. I won't have it on anything. I won't have it on chips. I won't have it on anything.
Yeah.
I might even eat mayonnaise, and I'm triggered.
Yeah. about the only real quick about the only thing that I can like that it's not good overall, but I can say this confidently. Is that when everyone's talking about crime? Oh, minorities doing crimes. Look at the statistics, and I go, look, man, ain't no Mexicans or black kids shooting up schools. That's all white people.
Oh,
and everyone's like, and I'm like, yeah, what? We're just talking shit. We don't mean any of that shit. But
if you really believe that we're being let that way out, guys, then you've come to the wrong fucking show. But
yeah, seriously.
I'm with you, man. Like, I just find it funny though that there's this thing of like people who get annoyed when you actually do live within a stereotype, and it's not necessarily a stereotype. It's just your personal choices. You like that. Do you know what I mean?
So, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that you just grew up that way. Like, fuck, like. Yeah, I can dance. Okay, I can dance salsa and all that other shit. I can dance most Mexican dances. I have rhythm. And they're like, okay, so a song comes on, and everyone's just like looking at me like, are you gonna go out there? And I'll be like, no, fuck you.
That's so.
And then I'll go, and then I'll find their girlfriend. I go dancing with them. Fuck that shit. I've done. Hey, that's happened. Check it out, real quick. Sorry, there's a country bar. First of all, the first time I went to a country bar ever. So my friends go, hey, we're gonna go to this bar. The name of it is like Toby Keith, somewhere here in Arizona. I mean, the name Toby Keith immediately says country. I don't know why my brain didn't connect that, but I was like, yeah, whatever. It sounds like a bar, whatever. I'll fucking go. So I meet up at my friend's house. We all ride in the same truck. We get there. Everyone's brought. I'm single right at that time. Everyone brings their wives, whatever, right? We go in there. It's a fucking country bar, and all they're playing is country. And I'm sitting here going, why am I fucking here? Like I so don't belong here. There was nobody darker than fucking like pale. Everyone was white. And I'm like, oh no. And it was so white. I look over the door. The only other guy darker was the black dude that was with the bouncer in front of the door, at the front door. And they gave him this whole like, and you say shit pops off. Right? He laughed about it, so it was cool. I thought he was gonna get upset. I thought he was gonna get upset when I said that. But he laughed about it. He's like, I got you, dog. I'm like, all right, cool. So we go in and yeah. This shit pops off, right? Yeah, cool. Right, But so anyway, we're in there and start playing this country music and shit, and like nobody wants to dance. It's like a fucking middle school dance. It's like guys on one side, girls on the other. So I started taking out everyone's girlfriend and wife out to dance. I was like, fuck you guys, I know how to dance. This is awful music. I still know how to dance to this shit. Let's do it. You know what I mean? But
I've just got this feeling it's like one of those cheesy like action films where like when like Rush Hour, where it's like all these like martial artists, all these Asian guys, and there's like fucking Jackie Chan and fucking Chris Tucker, and they both look at each other like, let's fuck them up, and they both just start fucking up all the guys. It's like, come on, dude. But fuck that noise. Like, I just find it really, really weird. I just think that this is I'll delve into this quickly and we'll probably talk about this another time because it's a lengthy one. But I always find it weird though, because at the end of the day, like you look at all these different kind of crossover kind of things where people delve into other kind of music and stuff like that and different cultures and stuff like that. And like, I find it weird because like as a fan of like hip hop as I am and stuff like that, I always find this really, really weird. Like there's some people that get really, really offended if you say the N-word when you're singing a song.
Right.
Some people don't get offended when you sing a word in a song. And I always think it's really weird because I always think to myself, like, when you look at the demographic of most people that buy albums of hip-hop music, it is white people. So it's like, if you don't like the word, stop saying the word. Do you know what I mean? But I always find it really, really weird because it's like, there's a few people that I know, and I've spoke to a few hip-hop artists from like the UK about it and some from the States and stuff about it. And I always think it's really weird that some people like, it's a word. Like, if you're not meaning it as like in a racial context, it's fine. But then there's some people, like, if you even remotely say that word, it's such a, it's a flare. And it ignites something that's so crazy.
Yeah, you know who gets more offended about the N-word than anybody? White people.
No. Yeah. No.
Here they do.
No.
Here they do.
No, that's not.
Here they do. You said the N-word, white people get more offended than black people do.
No.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee you, if you're in the fucking UK and you say that fucking N-word, there's gonna be a lot more fucking angry black people.
I'm sure in the UK, yeah, but I mean over here, there's more like there's more of an outcry from white people getting upset.
I think that's
like,
because there's
guilty.
more of you as people. Like there's more people, obviously.
Oh, probably. Oh, yeah, obviously.
But Jesus H Christ, if you drop that N-bomb around black people, you're getting fucked. Oh, I've seen some people where literally they've not said that word. They've said, I can't even think of a word off the top of my head that's even remotely similar. But like they'll say a word that sounds similar, and I've seen dudes like neck snap to literally go, "What the fuck did you just say?" So, you know, it is what it is. But I always find it funny though, because it's just one of those kind of cultural things where, like, I always retort back to, you remember that viral video that went around of this high school teacher where he was he said that one of his high school students was the GA, not ER, and he was actually like, he got suspended. So he did a video on YouTube, and he was literally defining the difference of them. I was like, geez.
I remember that. I remember that. That shit was funny.
But
I was like, dog, why would you do that? And,
well, you know,
and your face is on the internet, dog. Like, it's there forever. Like, you might as well just die now.
Or you're gonna get fucked up by some black folk.
Yep.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, just want to thank you all for tuning in. It's been emotional, man. Like, been a good time. We talk some shit. You can find me at Asher Lamprey on Twitter. You can find me on Snapchat, just Ash Official, and you can find the Heel Channel on Twitter at the Heel Channel. We also have the shows on the iTunes and SoundCloud. That's the Heel Hook Show. And yeah, man, don't forget to like and subscribe. And Eddie, where can they find you? And I'll let you lead us out.
You can find me on Twitter at Ela31, on Instagram at Keyboard Warriors MMA. Keyboard Warriors actually goes out tonight in about 2 hours.
Check it out.
3 hours, sorry. 3 hours. 3 hours. Keyboard Warriors MMA out live. We'll be talking UFC 219. Fucking Jimmy Rivera just can't get anyone to fight him. Marlon Moraes lost his balls. John Lineker has a fucking tooth infection. We're talking everything and anything UFC 219 related this weekend. Obviously the pay-per-view is on Saturday. And yeah, make sure to join us. So make sure you follow me at Ela31, get that link. And of course, for myself, my brother Ashley Lamprey, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night over there. Wonderful day over here. Get yourself keep out of trouble. All right. And don't play crap with your dick. You might lose that shit.
Peace.